Welcome to my attic. Here's one of the drawbacks of living in the woods. That wouldn't be so bad. They're on the outside. Except, do I have any volunteers to clean that up? Now that I got the laser back up and running, I want to try, for my first time, a feature on Lightburn that lets you do projects bigger than your laser bed. You can see this piece of wood, I can laser from this point to that point and from there to there. And even crossways, this board's too long. But this laser has a built-in pass-through feature, which lets you do that into the board, and if I could access it and it went against the wall, I could slide it right on through and keep on going. But it lets me slide it in far enough to hit the back wall that it will go in here. So I'm going to try. I have some other pieces that it won't, and I'll work around those, hopefully. Worst case is I'll slide it out and open that door in the back. Okay, I'm in Lightburn, and this is a project I'm making as a bat box. Instead of making just a plain, simple bat box, even though no one will see it, I'm making an all decorated up one, and it's very big. This is one of the shorter panels, and it's 29 inches. Some of the longer panels are 36 inches. And I'm going to just test it out on this. I'm going to try it 2 panels at once. And I have divided this into 2 halves. Right about where you see these little dots on either side, these are markers, alignment markers. I have split this in half. So, meaning that if I click on the top half, I can drag this up and out of the way. Now all I'm working on is this half. I will burn this, and once I get this done, I will remove it and pull this back down that it's in the cutting area of Lightburn, or of my laser. But I will align these 2 little dots with the computer software. They won't be aligned with these 2 dots because they'll end up being down here somewhere. But if you tell the computer that you start from these 2 dots, which are relative to these exact 2, it will take off and go forward. At least that's the theory. But let's just see how it does. I'm hoping that this will send to my computer. It did send. I will turn you over to there, and I want to frame this to see where it frames. Slide these down and adjust these a little more. I think we're doing pretty good. I want to bring this out here and use my stick to align this. I believe that this is my stick. I'm going to grab my tape measure to make sure. I'm going to run a test on it and see what it does. There we go. Click start and see what it does. Really all I'm looking for it to do is outline all of these things. Now I'm going to slide these. I see where my issue is going to be. These 2 boxes are not going to remain the same distance apart. And that will mess up my 2 registry marks. So, let me see if I can do this. designed to do it with one piece of wood. So, as always, I'm trying to do something you're not supposed to do. Alright, we'll see if that holds them in relative position. And I'll bring this down into that area. And I have a dot right here. I'm going to bring the laser over. Try to align it exactly with that dot. We're going to see if this works. Pretty impressive so far. Oh, that's silly glare. Didn't do it exactly because I can see that the registration mark is off. And that's mostly due to my alignment technique. I've got to figure out a way to video inside the laser without this crazy glare. Okay, this is the main front panel, and it is sized just so it will fit on the laser bed, so I don't have to two-part this one. I thought I had to two-part them all, but this one fits. Okay, I got all the parts marked, and if you can see that, this is just purely decorative. It does nothing. I'm going to actually paint over it. Probably won't even see it, but it's more of a proof of concept for me. These are one of the first ones I did. And you can see the heavy mark and the thin mark, and you see the vent. Oh, you can't see it. There it is. This little rectangle. It didn't match up perfectly, but it was very close. That was my first one. By the time I got to the end, some of the lines really matched up well. Like this one. I'll turn it like this so you can see. And if you look at this line here, you can't even see it. I'm trying to see if I can figure out where it was that it joined. I don't really see where it joined. Okay, table saw is set up at a 30 degree. Oh baby. Well, crazy camera overheated again, and then the memory card filled up, so I cut these first two. And the first edge I'm cutting by eye, and then the second edge I'm running on the fence, cutting the first edge just a fuzz long, so then I can straighten it up super straight. I need to make a straighter line on that. That's no good the way it is. Gives me a nice straight edge that way. Try that. I got all of the miters on the edges cut. I'm going to straighten the table back up while I'm thinking about it. Got my thumb stuck in between the table and the handle. Use my old skill saw. Now I got a problem that I don't have clearance here on the outside. I'm hitting my lathe. Let me come up with a plan on that. I'm going to rotate this 45 degrees. Once I get all this scrap wood out of here, I can separate these out. Not scrap wood, but all this lumber that I cut. Till then, I'll bring you back when I get it rearranged. I think I'm clear. All right. Got my stuff together. This is Tight Bond 3. It is waterproof, not water resistant. It says it's waterproof. So I hope it is. I got some 3/4 inch brads or 1 inch brads here, I think, or staples, not brads, they're staples. Gonna line the bottom edges up. That's not very easy to do. I don't know what's going on here. just countersinking them really well. I just can't see them. Get that all on there. Woohoo! Look at that. It fits. And it matches up pretty doggone well. Not perfect, but pretty nice. Now I just need to decide how I want to put this together. These will fit in here like this. If my measurements were correct, you should have about 3/4 of an inch between those. It looks like it might be a touch too tight, but it's pretty doggone even. Pretty happy with that. Here's the last one. So when I squeeze that together, that's what it looks like. I can't see that. Okay, so I guess I better put the back on first. Then I can work on it took me longer to draw this than it is to build it. No doubt. Absolutely 100% longer to draw it. I drew it in Inkscape. And then refined it in light burn. And my laser uses light burn to cut. To operate, I guess I gotta glue that side. I don't have a choice. I gotta glue them both at the same time, don't I? Alright, I found a 3/4 board. This is just some pine. The wonderful Sony camera shut off. These are the baffles. I've already put 2 in. This is the 3rd one, and I'm hoping I can get it in there. And gonna let gravity help me a little bit. This thing's starting to get heavy. I don't know that this glue is gonna be on it the time I gets in there because it's gonna be rubbing. But we will see what it does. I'd say it fits pretty good. Maybe too good. There we go. There we go. That is in there. Ah. Now I'm going to use pencil to draw some lines and have nails sticking on the inside. Don't need that. That worked out pretty slick. Guess I'm going to turn it this way. Now I got to build a roof on it. I decided to get a coat of primer on this before I go in tonight. Okay, now with that quit, I'll work this down into those nail pores, fill those holes. The camera died. I don't know how much of the painting you saw. Coat of primer. So I'm going to try to, I did that last night. I wanted it to dry overnight, so it'll be good and dry today. And I've got, gotta get out the big guns. Finish up the trim pieces and cut a little shelf here and get the brackets on it, and then try to get a roof made. So we will move on. All right. So I want to put a bracket there. Better get my glasses. Old eyes. Cool. Gonna adjust that angle ever so slightly. That looks like it's pretty perfect right there. Excellent. Look at that. I did not turn the compressor off last night, so that wasn't real cool. This camera is just darn near impossible to get along with. Died on me again. I cut out my first scroll bracket, and I've traced out on plywood where they're going to go. So they're going to go in here like this. And here, maybe, I don't know if I'm going to do 2 on these sides or not. But I'm going to start with 1 on each side and 2 here, and we'll go from there. Sorry I can't get a better angle on this. I'm going to use this little oscillating sander, spindle sander. I think 1 is the way to go on the sides. That's the way that I had drawn it. I think that looks the best. So. It won't take much to go through it. Get it all primed up. I don't think that's can go anyplace. Primed up meaning paint. You can see how far along I've got. I've got the ledge, the brackets, all the way around. And I'm going to cut out these in 3D and mount them onto the face. These marks are for a vent I'm going to put on each side. And then I've got to do a roof. So I probably won't finish it tonight as much as I want to. I'll stand back to try to give you a full view of it. I think I got a factory edge or a good straight edge here. I need a 14-inch wide piece. All right. Oh, bring this heavy thing back over here. I'm going to be strong enough to pick it up and put it on the roof where it belongs. Okay. We're right on the points of each of these, which is a good news. I'm going to fire up my belt sander and put a bevel on these on both sides. Maybe a little off of this edge. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to figure out where I need to put this. I think I need to grind that one off. That will get me in line with this instead of being up here. Let me get oscillator. I'll be right back. Don't know if you've ever used an oscillator like this. People have different names for them. I'm going to hack this off, even though that's more than I need. It's not important that it hits any of these. It just hits here and here is all that's really important, because it's only spanning 7 inches. Here goes, noisy. Apparently that ain't a very good blade. So now I can plane this out to wherever I want. I need to take more off of this one. Well, I use that thing very much. I'm going to hunt up a different blade. Now we're hitting on just the top edge of this. That's pretty cool. It's hitting on these first two completely. Just an eighth off of that one and a quarter off of that one probably. Yeah, this camera sucks. That's all there is to it. Thought I was doing right, checking all the reviews, going with the Sony, and it has been nothing but a heartache. Ugh. Take the belt sander and hit it. Make it all nice and smooth after that caulk dries. Well, I'm pretty happy with all of that. I'll back it up so you can see it. It got heavy on me. So there it is. A little overkill for a bad house, but it's pretty cool, I think. Looks like the only one I really need to cut is this one. That one's already beveled. That worked out really well, actually. Very happy with that. Take the belt sander. That's nice and smooth, so when I paint it, it'll look okay. I think I'm done. I got some hand sanding to do down here on these feather cut edges. There I am. Roof is done. Cutting out one of the decorative elements, appliques or whatever you want to call it. The noise you hear is an exhaust fan that roar, and there's a small air compressor that blows air out the nozzle so smoke doesn't back up into it. I'll bring you back when that's done. This should be the final pass. I just glued this on and forgot to turn the camera on. Gotta keep it on there. I imagine these will rot off with water anyway because they're just Baltic birch plywood. They're not made for exterior exposure. So they are not really designed for outdoor use. But that's okay. It's going to be hanging 30 feet up in the air, so I am not concerned about perfection. Maybe not quite 30, but close. Not sure how I'm going to paint these or what I'm going to do to make them look the best. But it's going to be paint, something to weatherproof them as much as possible. All right. I'm going to get everything a light sanding and dusting. And then I am going to hit it with another coat of primer. Get all this stuff primed. I want to clean up my mess a little bit. Oh gosh. I forgot to cut the vents in this side. So I'm stepping up just above the thickness, you can't see that, just above the thickness of this back plate. And I'm going to cut a little vent slot in here. I'm going to drill a hole and hopefully hit the cavity. There we go. Take this oscillator, noisy crazy thing, see if I can cut it. Well, I hope I got it in the right spot. There we go. A lot deeper than it looks when you're cutting that at an angle. Mark my height. Not that it matters. About that high up here. Uh-oh. I poked it in. So I hope it'll fall free. Out the bottom. There it goes. There's the other piece out the bottom. This will show up any defects or holes that I missed that it didn't fill up properly. I am slobbing it in the corners and cracks. Any cracks or crevices that remain, I will. Oh, I put 2 coats of black paint on the back and the edges here. I'm going to flip it over and start getting a couple coats on the front. Then highlight it on the accents and try to get this hung up tomorrow. Today is Saturday, July 13th. I've got my little homemade blocks, just plywood with a screw run through them and dull the tip of the screw just a little bit. That's going to be used to hold it up off of the table so it doesn't stick. Because while this is kind of dry to the touch, it's still very tacky and it will stick big time. Ugh, this thing is heavy. Try to get a better angle for paint. These little, what I call weenie rollers, approximately 1 inch diameter. You can get them in all different nap thicknesses. I tend to like the 1/2 inch nap ones because they'll get down into all these nooks and crannies and they hold a lot of paint. And if you're looking for super fine finish, you're better off to get a mohair or even a foam roller, depending on the surface and the finish that you're working on and how you want it to look. But it pretty much gets in most of these grooves and these cutouts. And these cutouts, 1/8 inch thick. This one's a 1/4 inch thick. It's not going to get into all of them. And I'll just use a brush to touch that up. Okay, we'll come back in a little while and do another coat. Alright, time for coat number 2. It's been an hour or so and it's dry to touch, but it's not cured. There we go. That is coat 2. I see a couple spots up under the roof I'm going to touch up with the brush. We're far from being dry, but it's recoatable. I'm going to use a sponge and see what kind of look I can get with this. Well, that didn't work like I had hoped. Let me get a wet rag. Maybe if I just keep scrubbing it, it'll kind of do what I was hoping it would do. Do this and I think for this Batman logo, I'm going to use this yellow, sun yellow. I don't have any latex bright yellow, and so I'm just going to put this in the can and do that, and put my cheater glasses on. I have a feeling I'm going to have to touch up the black because this paintbrush is the pits. Trim up this paintbrush, see how fuzzy it is? Horrible brush. I just switched to a different brush. Hopefully that'll work better. Gotta put my cheater glasses on for this kind of work though. So I'm going to take a couple coats. Alright, we're going to let that dry and come back. Wipe out this pan. The second coat. There we go. Alright, we're going to call that good enough. Here it is. calling that done. All right, now just nothing left but letting it cure and taking some pictures. Here's a final close-up look of everything.